My name's Maria. My situation before joining the program in a committed, monogamous, very loving relationship for almost 7 years, communication and romantic gestures and having our emotional needs fulfilled and being a partnership was really, really, really great. However, the sexual and intimacy aspect of it had been lacking for a while and it had been getting worse. So, in the beginning of the relationship, we were actually a very sexual couple. Like, we were like everybody when they start, right? We were doing it a lot, basically. And it was really great. And over time, it was still great when it was happening, but it was happening less and less. And it started happening less. I got a lot into my head, pressuring me to want sex more, or asking myself if we were having like a normal relationship because we were having sex XYZ times a week instead of whatever. So that created a situation where I felt really insecure during sex. I didn't feel comfortable initiating it. I got a lot into my head during it, so I was enjoying it much less. So, ironically, what I was afraid of, which was, not having enough sex, was causing me to not have sex, which was a very weird circle that I really wanted to break. I felt really inadequate. I felt like I was letting my favorite person in the world down, which is an awful feeling. He was really supportive, but still, I knew he wanted it more. I wanted it more. So I really felt like I was disappointing him in the relationship. I felt very frustrated because I didn't know how to get out of that vicious circle. I think the bottom line was I felt like there was something wrong with me. We had tried, talking about it and trying to push through it. I imagine like a lot of people do. I did have some doubts and fears before I joined. I'm a very cerebral person, if that makes sense. So I almost did an analysis, like I would have done it for work, for presenting it to my manager or something. And I was like, okay, let's assess the risk versus the benefit. And let's say I don't do it, what could happen? I do it, what could happen? And I realized, the only thing the program would cost me was well, money, time, and effort, which can sound like a lot, but not doing it would cost me potentially my relationship. So when you put those two things on a balance, it's very clear which way to go. So, I am now at a point where we are having not just more sex, but better sex. We are really taking the time to create, a good ambiance and to really get into the mood together. My point when I entered the program was to have more because I was measuring myself against that kind of standard. Now I see it as when we have it, but it has to be, fireworks. And it's going back to fireworks, which makes me really happy. It feels very liberating being able to say when I want sex, when I don't want it without guilt, being able to enjoy it, being able to turn myself on without waiting for my partner to do it because I have the tools to do that if I want to. That's liberating. That's taking a huge mental load off myself. To anybody that's doubtful about entering this program, what I would say is basically if you are in a committed, loving relationship, if you love your partner loves you back, and everything's fine, but there's something that feels lacking when it comes to your sex life, this is it. They are going to give you the tools, the resources, the safe space, the tips and everything you need that you can action and you know put it into work for your relationship. And I think if you're afraid of like I said before, the time it's going to take, the effort, or even the money. I get that. I was worried about that too. But again, when you put that on a balance, it's that versus the long-term success of your relationship. I think we need to think strategically and fix this when it's still fixable.